Tuesday night, just had a lovely Chinese with the wife, and it was very nice. Chicken, was it chicken, General Chow's chicken, and some combination fried rice. I've had a little bit too much, so my tummy's a little full, but I'm all ready and prepared and energized for the accountability call with my lovely friend, Shelly. My new best friend this week. You're my best friend this week. So, Shelly, you're on. I can hear you on the call, so you're there, right?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Fantastic. So, so are you jealous when I'm telling you about my Chinese?
Yes. I mean, but we always have, every Tuesday, we have the meeting after the meeting, and we go to Rosa's here, which is our Mexican food place here, and we have Taco Tuesday. So everybody ends up there. We have about 30 people, show up. So it's really fun.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously the food's great, but those meetings after the meetings are the best. And for those who are listening in, if you don't go to the meetings after the meetings, you've got to rush away or whatever, you're really missing out. I mean, I think probably, I don't know if you feel the same way, Shelly, but I know when I was going up through the ranks as MC and RC and SC, some of the best trainings I had were at those meetings afterwards. And I know people say that, but it's absolutely true, isn't it? It's absolutely true.
It is, and it helps you. It does help with kind of a lady sitting next to me tonight said that when she comes here and she meets us, she gets rejuvenated. She gets, just inspired to do more. Yeah. And so it helps.
And I agree. Even if you didn't hear that, that latest silver bullet or that bit of advice or whatever, there's so much negativity around. Just turn the news on, or sometimes at work, or the gossip at home. You know that if you're going to go to an Ambit meeting, and I'm not talking in a Kool-Aid sense, it's just a bunch of positive people who want to do something better in their life,
With their life,
and that's just totally infectious. And why wouldn't you want to be around that? I completely agree. And so, that's great. So, Taco Tuesday, huh?
Yes. They have a special on their taco plate every Tuesday, so that's where we go.
And is this the one after? This is obviously the one down in Odessa, right?
Yes. Manny and Rosella's meeting. Mm-hmm.
Right. I was asking Manny if I could maybe be invited to do the do a kind of like a full training on on the way I train to come down there. I wondered if I'd be allowed to come down there and train up on the at the training center you have there.
Yes.
At some point, if I'll
tell him. I'll tell him it's good. I told him that you could come. I'll just go ahead and
without your blessing, Manny won't do it. Everybody's scared of you there.
I'll just tell him. I just told him to come on.
All right. Well, let's jump into the call then, because here we are chatting away and people are listening.
Okay.
To us. Come on, get on with it. All right. So how was your day? Did we have a good day, an average day, a productive day, a not productive day? How was it?
It was an average day, I guess. It was not productive, I don't think. I mean, it isn't somewhat. I did get a hold of two people. One of them had called me back, and so I did call one that I got a hold of straight away, but then that I had left a message for yesterday had called me back today.
Who was that?
So Sandra, she's not in my top 10. She's the one right below. And I told you I had gone down, because I couldn't get a hold of anybody. So I got a hold of her, and she has seen the business before, but I just called her and did the same thing, did the direct thing where, if there's anything that's changed, this. And I talked to her, about the Japan thing. I talked to her about this and that, and, of course, at first she said, I don't think I would know anyone. And then she said, maybe I know somebody that has a son or something that's stationed there. And I said, well, if you do, you really need to, we need to get a hold of them and then see if this is going to be a good fit for them. And then we need to see if you want to get in with them. And so she just said that she's very busy. She just said that would be great. She was very positive about telling me no. She was
okay,
but she did have a good attitude about it, and she did say that she's just really busy right now, and that she's having to take care of some family members that are old and sick and stuff, and so she's just really stretched right now, and so she just said that she just enjoyed the conversation, and she just said thank you for calling, and
And isn't that great? You know, it's because we are going to get rejected sometimes. But if you have a nice invite that's not pushy, look, you know, see if it's the right fit for you right now. Things have changed. You know, I don't know if it's an appropriate time to relook at the business and stuff. And she's telling you, you know, a rejection's fine when someone's nice about it. You know, and the fact she's looking after some elderly folks in her family, I completely get that.
I had kind of worked myself up about not calling her and a couple of others that I really thought they were going to be kind of like not too happy with me for calling them and bothering them again, you know, or such per se. And it really helps me feel better about, you know, just reaching back out. I said, I'm just following up. I'm just, you know, touching base with you because it's been over a year. And so blah, blah, blah. And she was very excited that we're going international. She's very excited about, you know, about what we're doing, but she just doesn't have time right now. And that helps me feel better about contacting other people that have in the past have said it's not their time.
Now, isn't that interesting? Yeah. That's really good feedback, because I know exactly what you mean. Sometimes you're thinking, well, I know in the early days, I think I want to call that person, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I need to talk this person into joining the business. And of course, that's the mindset we don't have. We want to just show you the business. And you had your invite already, because I know you're writing your invites down, and you already know you know, I'm just giving you a call just to follow up and kind of update you on what's going on. And you talk about the change in Ambit, you talk about the change in your business, and the fact that everybody's life changes, and you know, it may have been more opportune, you know, time to have a look at the business. It may or may not be the right time. When you have that kind of mindset, then it makes it perfectly okay to give them a call, and you feel okay about making the call. Otherwise, you just can't pick the phone up. You're thinking, I've got to sell them into this business, and they're going to get annoyed with me, and you know, and so that's why it's so important to construct your invites correctly. You know, and that's why I think I like these formulas that we use, because it makes you pick the phone up.
Because I really don't want someone in my business that really doesn't want to be here. You know, I really don't want to have to drag somebody. No. You know, I want them to want to go and want them to want to be trained and want to get it and want to do stuff. So.
I completely agree. And very often people say to me, hey, Rich, why didn't you do a training on objections? And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm never going to do a training on objections, because I'll only do a training on concerns, because objections is just, you know, like way too aggressive. People usually do not object. They have concerns. I'm too busy, or, you know, I don't have the money or whatever. And so, but that training would be very short, because I will only address genuine concerns, and I won't try and talk you into it. You know, if you have a concern, well, you know, I'm really kind of busy at work, then I'll offer a suggestion. Well, you know, that's great, because this business is designed for busy people, because you don't, you know, go out to do this business. You do it while you're out, you know. It's just helping people save money on a bill they're already paying. So there's, you know, it's very easy. And you overcome that concern, and you offer it as a suggestion. And if they're still pushing back, I'm like, okay, you know, time's not right. Now, I know there are other leaders out there that say, you know, you push a little further, and, you know, you use, you know, neuralistic language that's, you know, a lot more closing and stuff. And I find that unnecessary, because if I show someone on the video and they don't get it, then I'm not going to convince them. And there are enough people who do get it. And, you know, the fact, again, that business plan always shows 3 who get 3, who get 3, who get 3, who get 3. You don't need 50, of which 20 of them you convinced to join. You know, you just need 3 good people who are going to work it like you do. Now, we're going to get more than that, you know, but that's the kind of minimum that we need to get going to make a business work. So I agree with you. I think, you know, I don't want to bring someone in my business that I've convinced, because we're going to have to convince them to work. So I agree 100%, and I'm glad that this language is helping you, because it helps posture, it helps you feel more relaxed, and it makes you pick the phone up. So that's great. All right, so that's Sandra.
Okay. Another one calls me back, Steve, and he was one that I had talked to. Remember my first guy that I'd ever talked to?
Yes.
And he said that it's really not, he's just not interested, really in the business right now. He said that, I just don't have a big enough circle, which he just said he works with old people, in their homes and stuff. And he said, it's just not, something I can do. And so I said, okay. And he said, but what I will do is get my wife to get our bill out and let's look at it. And so he's going to possibly become a customer. And he possibly has a Japanese connection because his sister-in-law's oldest stepson or something is stationed in Japan right now.
Okay.
And so I mentioned that, and he said, oh, gosh, we've got somebody over there. And so,
well, that's great.
I'm going to, like you said, so, and that's what I told him. I said, okay, so if we contact him and he wants to get in, do you want to get in and make the money too?
Yeah.
And so he said, well, we'll look at it then, Yeah,
so. There you go, and that's perfectly fine. And sometimes, people have a preconceived idea of what they think this business is, and they say, well, I don't know I don't know enough people, or I don't have enough time. And sometimes it's only through a kind of a conversation about creating, showing them the reality of how it actually is. If you don't know what the Ambit business is, and if you think it's an Amway or a Herbalife or whatever, I can see and agree what he's saying.
Right.
But it's sometimes we want to find ourselves in a position where we can have a conversation with him, where we can say, well, what's interesting is, firstly, you don't need to know very many people, because we only really need to get 3 people going in the business with us, and then it's all about their network and not about yours anymore. But the way usually to get to that is to find out if he's got pain, if he actually needs to have something else. So you're not addressing it directly.
He really doesn't right now.
Right, and I think that's probably the issue, more than what he's saying, I don't know people, I don't have time, or whatever he happens to say. That's not the real issue. The real issue is that he feels comfortable.
He's comfortable right now.
Yeah, and sometimes that's perfectly okay. But, sometimes if someone's giving excuses like that, but they're really struggling, you can have the conversation, well, I know that, you're struggling to make ends meet right now, but if you don't mind me being kind of a little blunt, if you don't do something like Ambit, what are you going to do to ever change anything? Right. And, people, usually if you say, if you don't mind me saying so, if you frame it in a nice, gentle way of saying it, because that sometimes makes people think, well, yeah, nothing's ever going to change unless I do something. And then once they then are open to, they realize they have to do something, then you can readdress those concerns. If he's comfortable, then those concerns are kind of there anyway. They're always going to be a wall because he thinks he's comfortable. Whereas if he's open because he really actually does have pain, he's not meeting his bills, he doesn't have retirement, he can't get his debt paid off or whatever it is, then when you've said that provocative phrase, look, if you're not going to do this, then you need to do something, because otherwise you're just going to keep going backwards further and further and further. Once you get that admission, yes, I agree, then you can say, and let's address those couple of things you talked about not knowing anybody. And then you can address that concern, about the fact that, well, you don't really need to know very many people, because you just need to kind of get a couple of people started, and then all of a sudden it's about their network, not about yours. Because obviously I didn't know anybody when I first got started, because I ain't from around these parts.
Yeah. You're from a few fish away.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And so, but that's the point, is sometimes when someone says that type of thing, kind of take a step back and understand what his true objection is. His true objection is uncomfortable. He didn't have the pain.
Right.
So hopefully, did that make sense the way I explained that?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right. Well, good stuff, though. I mean, we got a refusal to the business, and that's perfectly fine. So we're going to purge him for 6 months. On Sunday we'll do that, though, because we'll always be talking to him. But we may speak to him earlier than that, of course, if we speak to his Japanese connection.
Well, and he'll be coming. We're going to get ready to race early March, so he'll probably be coming over he said he's going to come over and help us get everything ready, do all that stuff.
Fantastic.
So I'll be seeing him.
By the way, what type of racing do you do?
I drag race.
Oh, drag racing. Oh, wow. I heard, I don't know if you call it a blip over here, but we call it a blip in England, and I heard a drag do that, where they just touch the,
yes.
And it just like blew me backwards. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you call it the blip here?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. And that was mind-blowing. Anyway, that's not what we're on the call to do. We've got to stay focused. So Sandra, that's good. Steve, we've got hopefully a customer and a lead to Japan. Anything else you managed to get done?
I did call, let's see, 1, 2, I called 3 more people, but I just left messages. And I did call, Landon called me back from yesterday, and then I called him back, and I haven't got a hold of him yet. So he left a message because I was on the phone when he called, and then I called him back and just told him, he's one of my buddies, so I just said, hey, Lando, this is Shelly, and phone tag, and you're it. And so he'll call me back.
Is there anybody else on your list of 10 that we need to do invites for?
There's one. I have one. That's the next Rhonda. That she is a very good friend of mine, and I pretty much know that she's not interested at all remotely in the business, but she could have people that she could refer to me, because she's offered to help, like maybe get some people together to do a deal for me, to help me. And so I don't know how to approach that.
Okay, this is really, really easy.
Okay.
I would say, hey, Rhonda, I'm in a little bit of a hurry. Only out of habit. You don't need to be in a hurry because she knows you're already in Ambit.
Right.
But I would still be in a hurry so you don't get dragged into... Pardon?
She's a customer.
A customer? Oh, in which case she definitely knows that you're in Ambit. But, so I would say, hey, Rhonda, obviously she knows who you are. I'd say, listen, I wanted to give you a quick call. I have the Ambit business, and first of all, I know it's something you're not interested in. I'm not giving you a call to try and talk to you about the business at all. I get that. So you literally start the call with 100% takeaway. Okay, and then that immediately takes the pressure off, because you're good friends. You don't want to put your friend under any pressure. But I would then say, look, just as if I'd opened a new restaurant, I'd love you to come and eat there, and so you could refer it to your friends. So what I wanted to do was, you mentioned that you may be able to help me out, and my business is kind of getting into a new growth spurt, and I need to find some good people to put into my business. You mentioned that you may be interested to refer it to some other folks. But has she ever seen the business, by the way?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'd say, can I pop over? Let's get together for a coffee. Let me show you the business, and then let's see what we can do about, maybe how you can refer people across to me. But obviously, if you're going to refer people, I want you to feel confident about what you're referring about.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, we just want her to look, because you just never know.
Okay.
But the way to make you feel easy is say, hey, Rhonda, a little bit of a hurry right now. We have the business because, Kenny and I are, just around the corner from retirement and stuff. And first of all, I know you have no interest in the business, and that's perfectly fine. So let's get that out of the way. But last time we spoke, you mentioned that you may be okay with referring me to some other folks, and I'm just reaching a new stage of growth in my business. I need to find some good people, and can we get together for a coffee? So I'm show you what I'm doing so that you know what you're referring. I don't know what you're doing after work on Friday, but let's go grab a coffee and let's talk about it a little bit more. So, you'll word it however you want to word it, but that's the way I would do it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Do you have any reservations about that? Because she's a good friend of yours.
Mm-mm.
Okay, good.
No.
And as I say, with that one, 100% takeaway.
Okay. And the next one would be Landon. He is very young. He, at first, when I first approached him, he said no, he wouldn't even be a customer. He didn't want to change anything. Well, about 6 months
How
later,
young?
which was,
How young?
he's probably 20s, late 20s.
Okay, late 20s.
Mid to late 20s, yeah. And
right.
he did not want anything to do with it. And then last year, it's been a year, we were at a party together, and he said, Shelly, are you still doing that electric thing? And I said, yes. And he said, I think I'm ready to switch. And I said, okay. And so he became a customer. He has now moved out into a rural area, gotten a big home, and he has switched his deal out there. He's very happy with Ambit. He works, of course, oil field, job related here.
Okay.
And like a supply company, I think. But anyway, he races also and stuff with us. But he has a lot of contacts. He knows a lot of people around, even out of the area that he races everywhere. I mean, he goes everywhere. He's just a very social person.
Okay. Well, let me ask you. We're a couple of days in, and you've had a couple of practices with some invites and stuff. How do you think you'd approach him after this way?
Oh gosh.
After this time.
I'm sure direct, because he already knows.
Well, I'll
he
give
knows
you a clue.
everything that.
He's already looked at it once before, right?
No, he hasn't looked at the business at all.
Oh, he hasn't. Okay, all right. But you said he's not interested. So how can he know he's not interested if he hasn't?
Well,
seen
I mean, he wasn't interested in anything until he got. I asked him to be the customer first, because I was looking for customers at the time.
Got it.
And so he was one of my first ones that I called, to get just a customer.
Right.
And
I would, in which case I agree with you. I think you're absolutely right. I would go direct with this.
Direct.
And he knows you're in Ambit.
Yes.
So I would give him a call. Still be in a hurry just to have it.
He has actually referred me to people on Facebook. I mean, if they say something about their bill, he says, I've got a girl you need to talk to, about their bill. So he's very positive about it.
Okay, good. And so he likes Ambit. That's good.
Yes.
I would go along the lines that he just needs to have a look at the business. Whether you're interested or not, Landon, that's fine. But bearing in mind you're a customer, bearing in mind you're referring to many people, you don't know what you don't know. And quite frankly, I think you need to take a look. I don't care. It may or may not be for you, but you need to take a look. And so I would be nice and direct, exactly like you're saying. I would still maybe. I would find an excuse to say how well Ambit is doing for you. So I give him a call and say, hey, Landon, I just want to give you a call. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for being my Ambit customer. Every customer means everything to me, and I really appreciate you trusting me, and thanks very much. And he'll say, yeah, great, no problem, happy to do it, and blah, 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 and thanks for the referrals, great. And then I would say, but Landon, I'm going to be direct with you. I think you should actually take a look at the business. Now, I don't know if it may or may not be your thing. That's fine. But and with all due respect, you don't know what you don't know, and this business is killing it for me and for Kenny. We're going to have our whole retirement paid for with our Ambit business. And quite frankly, you need to take a thank you very much. You need to take a look at this and see if it's suitable for you. But actually, even more than that, you're so good at referring customers to me. Even if this business isn't for you, you'd be able to refer other people to me for the business side as well. Okay. So that's your approach. I would be, thanks for being a customer. This business is really working really well for you, so there's a hook. I don't know if it's still going to be your thing, so there's the takeaway. So you've still got that, so he feels relaxed. But you should take a look. And then you don't know what you don't know. You should take a look, and this business is really killing it for me and Kenny. And again, whether you have interest or not, and not is perfectly fine. Your friendship to me is more important than any business. You're so good at referring. You could also refer people to me for the business as well as customers. What are you doing on Friday for a cup of coffee?
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, and word it as you word it, but that's the way I would approach it. I think he's going to be very, very responsive, especially with you when you start with a big thank you and thanks for the referrals and everything. And you're old enough. You're old enough to be his mum, and he needs to listen to his mum.
Yes, for sure.
So that's what I would do. That's what I would do. I think that'll be great, and he'll look, and you never know, he may get it and be your next EC.
Okay. Awesome.
All right. Anything else?
No, sir. I think that's good.
All right. Well, we're Tuesday right now. Have you? So that's Rhonda. We've got an invite for her. I've got an invite for Landon. Fantastic. All right. Good deal. Appreciate you getting on the call. If there's nothing else, then we're probably going to have a late call again tomorrow night because I have a team call tomorrow night.
Okay.
You're probably on Richard and Mary's call,
too.
right? Yeah, there you go. We can get together after that. How's that?
Okay, that'll be great.
All right, lovely. Well, good job today.
Thank you.
We got more progress, and that's all we can ever ask for, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a good night.
Hey, no problem, lovely. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.